More now on our coverage of the Syrian refugee crisis. Joining us on the line via Skype is Zaid Mohammed, who's a volunteer for Kesh Malik. That's a Syrian activist group in opposition-held districts of Aleppo. You're going to hear Zaid's voice, but we're not going to show his face. Zaid, tell us about the situation there in Aleppo. What is daily life like with the city being bombarded as it is?
Hello, sir. So, in the city of Aleppo, the very noticeable thing is the aircraft. It's all the day, like for 7 or 8 hours per day, they are invading the sky, and it is terrorizing the people psychologically. Although they are bombarding the city of Aleppo, like at least there are 5 airstrikes per day causing massacres on a daily basis.
How many people are left living in Aleppo now?
Well, we don't know yet because of the latest migration waves. However, we may say like 200,000 of people.
And if people want to leave the city because of this bombardment, how do they do so?
There's still the Castello Road, which leads to western Aleppo countryside. They can, until now, leave the city to Afrin, then to Azaz, to the Turkish borders. However, the Turkish government is still blocking the people from entering its borders.
And what happens when there's an airstrike in Aleppo? Do you get any sort of warning?
No, actually, it's miserable. Like, it happens suddenly, and so people are being forced to cope on that. So they are practicing their daily life. They go to hospitals, schools, etc. They open markets, and they send their children to play football in the streets. And when the massacre happens, it happens because people will not stay in their houses, and it's not a new situation. It's been like this for the last couple of years, so it's not new for the people. They have found ways to cope even with death.
How does the community feel? You say that I mean, it sounds as though normal daily life is going on as best it can while this aerial bombardment is happening. How do people feel there about what is happening to them and about Russia, about the international community, the UN?
Yeah. So the people feel very desperate because they feel that they were left by the central powers of the world to face the Russian invasion and the Iranian occupation of the Syrian land. And many people feel that the cost of the policy of inaction, which is taken by the central powers towards the Syrian case, is a very dangerous decision, because it would make the world a worse place in terms of freedom, dignity, and justice. Like, there are still people in Aleppo city, and there are many people in Syria which believes in these values, and they are revolutionists against tyranny and injustice. And they have the hope to resist and change this world. And the message that they might be sending to the world: do you want to join us to defend these values of freedom, dignity, and justice? Do you really want to defend these values?
Zain, one final question. One of the many things that Kesh Malik does, your organisation, is run schools for kids. What's happening as far as the schools are concerned? Are they able to continue? How are you able to safely educate the kids that are left there in Aleppo while this aerial bombardment is going on?
Actually, we're trying, as many Syrian organizations, to provide a kind of a safe environment. Like, we use the basements, the shelters, to open the schools and to provide them with a safe environment which prevents the danger in a way or another of the airstrikes, because it is an basement. And it also provides them with a free environment that they can express themselves, where they can, not being ideologized by anyone, and prevent the physical punishment. So it's a way of trying to find a space for the children which is relatively safe, and they can take classes, do some activities. However, whenever they hear an airstrikes, everybody is distracted and they lose their attention, even the teachers, because even they have families and they don't know where that airstrike happened. And they will ask themselves, where did it happen? Did I lose anyone from whom I love? So, so it's a stress and terrorizing the people on 24 hours by Russians and by the Assad regime.
Said, it's really good to talk to you. Many thanks indeed for spending time with us to tell us about what life is like right now in Aleppo. Zaid Mohammed there, a volunteer for Kesh Malek, a Syrian activist group in opposition-held district of Aleppo.